Hello everyone, welcome to the Money Storm Show. These are your hosts, Chet and Larry. This is a place of discussion about all things money and how to weather that financial storm. You have Chitani Monga, otherwise known as Chet, the founder of Brightcap Financial, a commercial and alternative mortgage brokerage. You also have Larry Heron, the founder of City Center Mortgages, a residential mortgage brokerage specializing in mortgages nationally.
Yes, thank you, Chet, for those
Absolutely.
introductions as always. Welcome back, guys. This is episode 9 for the Money Storm Show. Thank you so much for all the viewers that are coming back and that have been supporting us. Just a shout out to you guys. This episode here, we've brought on another guest, a special guest who has, become a friend of mine, ours as well, over the last, I would say, 2-3 months that we've gotten to know each other.
Yeah.
Without further ado, we have Mr. Ardee Sharma.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.
Oh, it's our pleasure. Thank you for being on our episode
Absolutely.
and taking the time out of your busy day, because we know that spring market is picking up for you realtors,
Sure,
and
yes,
it's like
sure.
a real market again. I know the last 2 years weren't real spring markets, but we'll get into that stuff
It's
shortly.
exciting when the offers are coming through, right? You see the
Absolutely.
purchases happening and you're like, all right, it's on.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
funny you said that because I started in 2021, my friend, and
Yeah.
it was the crazy market.
Oh, you came into the fury,
The
the
national
frenzy,
market,
the
yeah.
FOMO
so,
market.
so we had to do go into the multiples. Had no choice. So I've seen the market coming from a multiple and having a buyer's option into this market. So we are looking at 2 different markets, and
What would you say you're, coming into the market in 2021, into that, multiple offer market and that, rapid kind of environment.
Yeah.
And now, let's fast forward in 2023, things are starting to normalize. The
Yes.
spring market is, we feel like we're at the bottom, and now consumers and the average public is starting to
Yeah.
recognize that, getting used to the higher interest rate environment. People are coming back to the market. How do you compare 2021 and 2023 in your short career?
I mean, in 2022, people were scared before just because of the rates. Rates were going super high, and
Yeah, everyone just stopped.
everyone just stopped.
It was a pause.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
We like using that
Pause,
word.
Exactly.
And
It truly
everyone-
was.
Yeah.
and everyone came out from a pandemic too.
Yeah.
So it was 2 things are happening to the people, and all of a sudden, all the people started working from home.
Mhm.
And then the value for a house become more into their lifestyle.
That's such a good point. The
That is.
value of housing
Yes.
has significantly increased because they're no longer just our places to live; they're also our workplaces.
Yes.
Right.
That's a
significant portion
fantastic
of
point, Ardee. It truly is. Over the last couple of years, we kind of forgot that at that point, not enough people actually talk about it, because in 2020, I remember with the pandemic, I
Yeah.
myself was like, hey, thinking that people are probably going to buy homes, thinking they might not get a home again. If there's a pandemic, they want safety, they want their own house. So sure, with that fear, value went up for sure.
It did, and also I've been only doing it for the last 2 years now, but I noticed that people from different countries, in different cities, also they're moving and they're making a move. If you take example coming on a Fraser Valley, when people used to live in Vancouver, now they have the opportunity to make the move.
Absolutely, they
That's
can be
what
more
it-
remote,
Yes.
right?
So now what happened? That's why the market picked up. This is what my assumptions. You will tag along onto this too.
No, that's actually a great point. Markets have opened up, audiences have opened up for listings, because if someone who was, pre-pandemic,
Yeah.
restricted, say, maybe not so much, but, restricted because you can't work from home, and now driving, from wherever, Fraser Valley, you're 2-3 hours out to Vancouver doesn't make sense. But now that you're able to work from anywhere and still keep that Vancouver job, why not? Now you don't have to pay rent, you can become a homeowner. And yes, I feel the same way, because I did deals like that. I've done deals for
Absolutely.
people in Chilliwack that work in Vancouver and etc. So you're absolutely bang on with that one.
I had people the two couple I actually working with them, one from Calgary and one from Vancouver. They both work from home, and they were looking somewhere near in Elder Grove and in Abbotts Ford. In Elder Grove, people were getting up multiple bed, and the latest I did was over 1.7, just
Wow.
for a 3,500 square foot house.
Damn.
So you can imagine if 264 and Fraser Highway, we're not even way too far from a Langley. So
Mhm.
it's there.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at the market like a 1.7 there, and then you're blaming it Surrey and Delta, it's a totally different
Mhm.
demographic, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Absolutely. So, Ardee, you talked about a little bit about your short career,
Yeah.
right? We will call it the 2-year road to success,
Yeah.
right?
Well, we know for our viewers, Ardee has, seen success that a lot of realtors do not see in 2 years, because 2 years is still a time of learning and growing yourself and growing your business and really grasping everything. But Ardee in a short 2 years has seen some success. Can you tell us about your road?
It's all about the mindset. I say that now it's been 2 years. Me waking up on, I don't know, I just shared with you before we did the podcast that I wake up at 2:30 in the morning.
I know your mindset is entirely
so
different.
my mindset is the key, guys. And if you wake up early, it doesn't mean that you just wake up early to meditate and everything. I actually finish all the emails, sending all the listing to my clients. So now I have the time to do all the calls. So I have the reason to follow up. So this is what I noticed in the last 2 years, that I have to make the changes in my life to be as successful in this real estate game.
Man, thanks for sharing that. That's awesome. I've heard of people waking up. Honestly, I've
4
heard
o'clock.
it was a brother-in-law of mine.
Yeah.
Well known in the industry.
Yeah.
Lucky.
Yeah.
He started waking up at 3:30, and I was like, man, that is early.
It is,
4:30, 5:30, very common.
Yeah.
And he took it one level up, 3:30. Awesome. I respect that. 2:30 is a first. my
Yes,
brother. How much
even-
do you sleep, man? When do you go to sleep?
I go to sleep 8:30. It's so funny, and the agent called me 8 o'clock. He goes like, "Why don't you pick up your phone? We are getting into the offer situation." I'm like, "I gave you that, okay. I don't want to wake up my clients after 7 p.m. because they have the kids and everything, and even myself too. I don't want to. I time myself, so I need to sleep 8:30 so I can wake up 2:30.
So you get that 6 hours, 6.5, whatever it may be.
Sometimes I only get a 5 because if it's busy, then I have to work around and cut my hours for this.
You know
That's
what?
a lot of discipline.
It's a lot of discipline. It's all about mindset, right? And that's the key thing here. So
Yes.
even though you might get 5 hours sleep, you have that drive. You're on that hustle,
Yes.
and that's what's keeping you going. Realistically speaking, right? To be able to still function throughout the day, get through your day, and help all your clients out there.
I'm listening to you while you're saying all this. It's a reality that graduated with the people that we went together for the real estate exam, and I've seen people backing out into this market, and I feel like this is the good market for me because I learned in those 2 years. I know the products now. I've done the transaction, and now whoever comes into this market, it's a number games. So I really focus on the numbers and break it down for the people, not just for this year, but previously 2 years when the market was hot. So what, as a consumer, would you do? Would you buy something when it's more balanced, or would you buy when it was super hot? So
That's really unique because you're not just looking at the price point of this asset today.
Yeah.
You're comparing it over the last 2, 3, 4 years, what this asset was realistically worth and what it has the potential of being worth again.
Because it's a tricky time.
it's a tricky time.
It's a tricky time, and that's amazing that you're doing that for sure.
And I have to. I still remember now I do my own open houses, but when I first got into the industry, and I had to make this commitment with myself that doesn't matter what happened, if I have a client or no client, because I had no background from real estate. So not being into the real estate, so I had to work extra than the people who knows about real estate. I'm a computer guy, so I know more computer gigs. So I was one of those nerdy guys who just want to learn about the programming, networking, marketing, and everything, but never thought about getting into real estate. So I would go, ever since I got a license in 2 years, I don't think so. I spent any weekends without looking at any house. So I would just go look at the houses, open houses, learn about the buildings.
So
learn
there
about
was
their-
not one weekend that
No,
was leisurely,
no.
time spent off. You put the pedal to the metal,
Yes,
and you
sir.
educated yourself
Yes.
with the market.
Yes.
No weekends off.
No weekends off.
2 years later, that speaks volumes for your business.
It does.
That's where it's at. I mean, I think I know the answer to this, but if you're going to sleep at 8:30,
Yes.
you probably don't watch any Netflix
No,
series,
I don't.
Amazon series,
No.
or anything or you sneak one in at 3:30, 4:30 in the morning.
No TV
before
for me, my
breakfast.
friend.
That's
No
where it's
TV.
at.
I don't watch TV at all.
That's good because we
And-
know, I call the TV the one-eyed devil.
Yes.
There's no business watching that.
No. And it doesn't
No reason
help
to
in
watch
my
one-eyed
business.
devil.
So I have to grow, and you know how other people say that, okay, I've been like agent into the industry from the last 2 years, and I can teach you everything. I'm still learning because I think it would take any agent to be a good agent for more than 5 years to learn about not just about the market.
That is your
It's
standard
funny.
plan.
Yeah, it's standard.
Five-year
It's
plan,
funny.
my
It's
friend.
funny you say the 5-year mark because we often talk about the graduation ceremony, right? We talk about graduation typically being 4 years into the industry is
Yeah.
really where you start seeing momentum and where you can consider yourself
Yes.
that you're well versed in the industry.
Yes.
Ardee has done that in 2 years, right? And of course, like at the end of the day, you're learning.
I'm
right?
learning, I'm
We're
still learning.
all learning though because from learning and the ability to educate yourself,
Yes.
you've driven to success,
Yeah.
right?
And
you're a
it's
key
like
learner.
Chet, what you say is markets don't slow down.
No, it
No, you
doesn't.
don't. No, they don't.
And I heard this. One of the best statements that I've ever heard is from right here, Chaitanya Manga with Bright Cat Financial, and he proves it day in day out. Markets don't slow down. Brokers or realtors slow down because the
Yes.
market don't sleep. Market
No.
never sleeps. And Ardee, that it's awesome this conversation because any new broker, any new realtor licensees out there, yes, you've come into a very difficult time. Business is not coming to you. Homes aren't flying off the shelf. But the fact of the matter is, if you put real work into it and you don't lie and cheat to yourself, and you take weekends and you don't take weekends off, and you put in the work will pay off. So to all the new brokers and realtors out there, stick to the game plan. You got the license for a reason. You had an action plan. Stick with it. Do what Ardee's
Sure.
doing. Take no weekends off.
No
If you
weekends
want
off,
to take
my
weekends
friend, no
off, then maybe you
weekends
should
off.
exit the industry.
100%, because you have to learn. I call it like if you put 80 hours in any job, it will pay you back. So
Absolutely.
I'm putting all my 80 hours. I try to overtime it so I can actually get the bonus and extra paycheck. So your success in real estate will come with hours you put it into the game.
Absolutely. We can't kid ourselves. Numbers
No.
don't lie.
Number don't lie.
We talk about it all the time in our office too, is like real effective hours too, right? Like, you don't have to sit in the office for 10 hours, but
No,
if you
you
come
don't.
in with a 3 to 4 hour focused mindset, with the preparation that you do with,
Yes.
meditating, reading, going
Yes.
for your walk, which I'm big fan of your Instagram
Oh,
page
thank
because
you.
it's inspiring with
It
all,
is, it
everything
is.
that you do. It truly is inspiring, and you're sharing and caring. So you're throwing the knowledge out there. So great page for everybody to follow here. Ardee Sharma on Realty.
Thank you guys. Come and follow me and look all the dysfunctional activities I do on because I call it. I'm a big fan of. I listen to this rapper Tech Nine, and his one song is always stuck in my mind.
Tech Nine, huh?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Dysfunctional. So I tell people like if you want to beat anybody hustle, so you need to be a little bit of dysfunctional in your life. So that's
There
a key
you go,
one,
man. That's the secrets from Ardee Sharma.
Yeah, that's awesome. So why don't we talk about who you're with? I mean, everyone's hearing that you're a realtor, 2-year road to success.
Yes.
And, who are you with? Who do you work with, as a realtor, and why? I mean,
It's funny that you brought it up, and I'm with the agency and the brokerage right now. It's the fastest growing brokerage, and the reason why I say because you as an agent you want to secure yourself. You want to put yourself into the brand, and you want to put yourself into the system where you don't die with a hunger. What I mean by that, you need to have any good safety that you see that any brokerage will survive. Doesn't matter what happened into the economy for longer enough, because they have so many agents now at the moment. Like I would say over 80,000. So that's a good number for.
and this is EXP.
EXP. So I'm with the EXP guys, and under EXP we have this culture with the Global Real Estate Mastermind, and a friend of mine, Grinder, he came up with the idea that we don't want to compete anybody. We want to collaborate. So it's
no competing. Let's collaborate.
Let's
You know,
collaborate.
It's funny you say collaboration over
Yes.
competition.
Yes.
Because when I came into the industry, Larry, and again, Larry's brother-in-law, Lucky, used to tell me the exact same thing.
Yes.
It's not about competition, it's about collaboration. To this day, we work on deals together, right?
100%,
And at the end of the day,
100%.
we all have our specialties and we all have our different niches, right? But we make sure they're all shown based on the strengths that we have and how how we go about working together and collaborating together.
It's
Absolutely.
With the
It's beautiful.
team,
Why
yeah.
compete when you can collaborate?
yeah, with the team and the collaboration. I mean, you guys are doing the financing side, and we cannot go without financing. So, you are the starting point, and you are the ending point till the time we don't get paid. So, which is true, and we don't just get paid for our services, but we also helping the family at the same time.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of people, they're so busy in their life, they don't have the time to think about anything else. So now we come handy because we read the market, we do all the numbers for them.
We're professionals
Yes.
in this specific market. This is our niche and this is our target.
I call myself a real estate doctor, my friend.
There you go, the real estate doctor.
Yeah.
I love that. Dr. Sharma, there's a lot of
Yes,
Dr.
sir.
Sharmas out there. We know that.
Dr. Sharma.
Yeah.
Now, back to EXP, I've been hearing, about them.
Yes.
I have a lot of realty friends, obviously.
Yes, you
And
do.
I've seen a lot of realtors jumping ship, moving over.
Yes.
And going over to EXP. Why? Why is EXP having so much success and, why are people joining them?
For me, I'll tell you why I did join it. I'm a computer guy,
Yeah.
and I love having everything on my iPad. And we now have the tools from EXP, which is so wonderful that you can be at your home, you can be at the airport, but you're working as your own brokerage. You have
Yeah.
all the access from one cloud brokerage. What it means that you just don't have the one managing broker. You have like a 5 other managing broker just to help out your problems and the
To help
situation.
you with
Yes.
training,
help
'cause
you.
we know, I think it's pretty much
Yes.
same with realty brokering.
Yes.
Sadly the industry lacks training
Yes,
as well.
absolutely.
From principal brokers and realty side.
And at
brokers.
the end of the day, I chose being a real estate agent just because I have my own schedule. So let's say you have any tools where you can access them anytime. You don't have to go to the office. You don't have to wake up at a certain time just to attend the meeting. So there are recorded meetings and recorded seminars that I can actually watch at my own times. It's beneficial for me because in our business, time is money.
Absolutely.
So if I don't spend my time and if I don't organize myself, even though I'm looking myself, expanding myself, so I need more time for my own system. So I had to make the choice. No hate for any brokerage. Everyone does a good job. It just sometimes
It fit you.
Yes, it
your
fits you.
It fits your
Yes.
mission, the
Yes.
principles that you have. It fits
Yes.
with you perfectly,
Yes.
and that's why you're so in love with the idea of it, right? And you're able to pass that message on to everyone
Yeah.
else.
everyone who are like me, and
Yeah.
if somebody wants to go join, be into the office, which is some people need to get away from. I'm happy with my wife. It's
Yeah.
a happy life, so I
Yeah.
can work from home, so I have no issue.
Yeah.
So why would I just not make any moves? So it was a common sense for me.
I was thinking the old school term there, realtors hanging out the office,
Yes,
around
sir.
the coffee bar, drinking coffees,
Yep.
doing nothing, just
Doing
staying away from home.
nothing. So now you don't have the time because
Yeah.
now the amount of the buyers I'm pretty sure that everyone's aware of online leads and everything.
Yeah.
Now people need to know that you don't need to do the real estate just for the baby boomers. You have to work for the people who are into present.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
So
at
the
the end of the
market
day,
shifting.
Yes, market shifting. So why don't we shift in and work together in the time?
and adapt in the market, right? And work with the future generation
Yes.
as well, and leverage other tools that are out there that exist for us
Yes.
to be able to help them to our best abilities, right?
100%, 100%.
And Chet hit it bang on.
Yes.
Adaption, right?
And
Got to
we-
adapt, otherwise we just sadly get left behind.
Absolutely.
Right, and now here we are. I mean, we could come to a world where it's just an online application system, right? Somebody
Yes.
finds you, somebody finds us.
Oh yeah.
Bam, it's all online, and I mean, we've got that presence, right? So we're good to go there.
And pretty much a pandemic can help out all the things of being more online. People have the opportunity. So I don't know if it's beneficial or it's a time that we gone through that we learned more about our life, more about our time. That how can we utilize and be more productive.
Yeah.
This
That's
is another
right.
way to put it out.
That's
No,
awesome.
it's awesome that you come from a spot where time matters to
Yes.
you, right? We did come from a time where like it used to be money don't sleep. Schedule is eyes open to eyes closed.
ABCs always be closing.
Always be
Always be
closing,
closing.
and putting in hours like 8 to 8. I was there, closing down the office 10 p.m. Like I think those days are long done, because true success is, honestly, I was talking about it this morning with a few friends. True success, to me at least, is being able to spend time the way you want to.
Exactly.
To me, I want to spend it with my kids, my wife, staying at home, spending time with my wife and kids, right? And having success, right?
Yes.
So that's success to me, right? Because like I said, you can be efficient and all that sort of
100%.
stuff, right? Something stood out to me before we get to a little bit of mortgage talk and
Yes.
talk about some, big industry news. Something stood out to me at EXP, you might not get a hold of your principal broker, but you have 4 others you can rely on.
Oh yeah.
So how does that work? Are they all on the same team, or do you jump to another network or another streamline?
Yes.
I found that
So
interesting
in
because
EXP,
that's
how it works, it depends on your sponsor. How do you get sponsor? So it's a pipeline, and we are the people together as a community. So now I'm with the Global Real Estate Mastermind, and
Okay.
we also have the Vancouver Mastermind. So we are together collaborating and working and providing everything for the agent who needs the help in their first years.
Got it.
So-
So Artie, give us an example, right? So say I approach you.
Yes.
You're my sponsor.
Yes.
And now I need help on a transaction, right?
So
and you're not there. You can't answer the phone for whatever reason.
Exactly.
What do I do?
So when you become an agent, obviously now after 2 years, you earn enough business where you are busy, and sometimes you cannot get back to the person who are with you.
Yeah.
So you need people to gather one group where they can get the answer. It doesn't have to be a one specific person. So there might be agents who are experienced than me,
Right.
over 10 years, 17 years, 20 years. So somebody will help you out. And when you have the access for all those kind of tools, it's
Yeah.
much easier for anyone.
So from my understanding, Artie, like with these groups, the Vancouver Mastermind or Global Mastermind, essentially you can call any EXP agent, and because of the mindset, it's about collaboration.
It's about the collaboration. I
Right.
mean, if I'm with a different pipeline and
Yeah.
or upline, I won't be able to access their tools because
Got
we
it.
build up the tools for our own guys. It's
Got it.
10 brains together building up something for someone
Right.
from their own past and experience.
Got it. Okay, makes
sounds
sense.
like it's more of like a camaraderie
Yes.
Yeah.
and
The brotherhood kind of.
brotherhood and a fraternity, but like a movement.
It's funny how people would ask me that I have a lot of other agents who are
It
into
feels
the-
like a movement online.
Yeah, who
Yeah.
are into the EXP, and that I got approached so many times with the different agents, and I have all the love for them. But he's actually from the same back home town from back home. So he called me. He goes, "Hey, brother, I have this idea that which I'm expanding,
Mhm.
and I need a person like yourself, and I needed you as a brother, not just as a team member." He called everyone that we are partner together. So this is your brokerage, this is your system. Bring your ideas and let's work together and collaborate and be more stronger for your own future.
Mhm.
I love
So
it.
that was the idea of me going into EXP
Right.
and the Global Leader Mastermind, and I love those guys, and those guys drives pretty fancy cars, and who doesn't love the fancy cars?
Yeah.
That's very true.
Hey, that's true, right? I mean, hey, we want to be humble, and we're here to be good people and do ethical
Yes.
things, but we want to win.
Yes.
We want the toys,
Yes.
right? We want all that stuff. So
And
good for you guys.
I like that the way you said that you want to win, and you always want to be around the people that who are winning in their life.
Absolutely, man. You
Absolutely,
are the average person of the 5 people you hang around the most.
Yes.
So I used to call it, shout out to one of my mentors, Sim Sahi, but he
Yes.
used to have this thing called Flat Tire 5.
So
You know what I mean? Like, who's your Flat Tire 5?
Yes.
You're out on the road, you're stranded.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, yes, you're family friends, but this is
Yes.
just a friend question.
Yes.
Which 5 friends can you call, right? And, but anyways, the 5 people that you're in the room with the most is the average. So, they used to say if you're consider yourself like a 7 out of 10, then you should be hanging out with 8s and 9s, knowledge-wise or success-wise. So you're gravitating that way. If you're the smartest guy in the room, you should probably leave that room, right?
I'm just thinking in my head, and like you said, the 5 flat tires. So let's take it this way: you have 5 fingers,
Yeah.
but the 5 fingers won't do anything. But when it becomes a punch, it will help you out for a situation. So
Woo! I love
There you
that.
go, man. There you
That
go.
is
That's a
good.
good analogy.
yes, sir. So
That is awesome, man.
Together we are stronger, my friend.
Welcome back, guys. Sorry about
Yeah.
that short
Sir.
little cut there. We're not sure exactly what happened with the camera, but let's get back to it.
Yeah, no biggie. That is awesome. We're gonna get back into it, guys. There's some big news out there. Today is April 12th, Wednesday morning, that we're doing this podcast episode. Bank of Canada continued quantitative tightening. Continued quantitative tightening, and held the overnight rate steady. So there was no movement. Large expectation of that action. And we kind of all anticipated that, so we really didn't talk about that over the last couple of weeks over our podcast. We had some fun, brought some guests over. But there was one super big announcement from government of BC, which I want my partner here, Chet, to talk more about since he's on the development side of things. But BC rolled out that all single-family homes can be a fourplex, 4 units.
They can be upzoned.
Upzoned, so-
Absolutely correct. So, I mean, we have limited news right now as of today. As of David Eby's, the Premier's latest address, he has stated that all single-family lots, as we call it, dirt, which we'll talk back about again.
Yes,
I love dirts, guys. If you don't know, I love dirts, and we're numbers guys.
Yeah. So we'll chat a little bit more about that. But back to the dirt. All single-family lots in BC will have the ability to be upzoned into 4 units, 4 separate dwellings. Now, that could happen in multiple ways from my understanding. It could be a fourplex, meaning 4 separate title individual parcels or lots, non-strata, right? Or they could be a total of 4 units, meaning suites as well. So, we see the classic Surrey houses that often gets talked about, where you'll have the main living unit, but you'll have multiple suites, 2 suites, 3 suites, right? And those suites are not considered legal. But what might happen is that those additional suites that are already in people's homes, they might become legal units within those properties as well,
awesome.
right? So different way to kind of look at it. I mean, we'll hear more about what that upzoning realistically means and what that criteria would be later this year, I believe in the fall, as they address it more. But from our understanding as well, and the way it would make more sense from a development perspective and from a community perspective, this upzoning would be circumstantial, and there might be additional further upzoning available for more transit-oriented communities as well.
Yeah, that's
right?
one thing that was kind of stood out, right?
Yeah.
Do you think it's gonna help people because now they can have a legal basement? So from your end, so they can have an extra income for the mortgage.
Absolutely, yeah. It would from an income perspective, it would definitely help with the qualification aspects, right? And we'll see these. So this is more common in Alberta, but what a lot of people do is they'll go buy a fourplex, right? They'll live in one of the units and they'll rent the remaining 3 units. And with the rents being where they're at in Alberta, right, and the ability to use insured mortgages, properties under $1 million, it's a lot easier to qualify. Right, so that same kind
very
of
commonplace, especially in America. And like, if you read any investor book and online, like, what's the first property you should buy? Is
the
these
fourplex.
Live in 1 unit, rent out the other 3. If you truly want to, get 100 doors, 200 doors, whatever your goal is. And finally we got it. I think it's needed in some major cities for sure.
Yeah,
like Surrey's, Burnaby's, Vancouver's, which we've got this influx of immigration coming in, lack of housing, and now we've got the ability to create a home. So like a chat, teardowns.
Yeah.
People that have teardowns, sitting on teardowns right now,
right,
want to buy teardowns.
Yeah.
Their goal prior to this announcement was build a home, the spec seller, build to sell, you do a ton of that.
Right.
Now these guys that are sitting on inventory on land or dirt, now are they on what's happening with their mind?
That's interesting because the traditional mindset was, if you were buying dirt or if you're buying a rancher teardown, right, it was, again, like you said, to build your own house, right, and go from there. And that was often a way to build equity as well, because you capture that lift in the property.
Or just built to sell that one.
Or built to sell, right? So, but what's really going to happen here, at least from my mindset and the perspective that I look at it from, and I feel like there's going to be a massive demand and massive shortfall at the same time of land available in the market,
Oh,
land
yeah.
is going to get scooped up so quickly with this new upzoning that's available,
Yeah.
right? So these teardowns are going to become more desirable further and further because the new upzoning laws or guidelines.
Question
yeah.
for you: the teardown rule is still 30 years old. Is that province-wide?
I
Is that just
don't
like-
know if that's province-wide, to be quite honest with you. I believe it's city to city. They all have different guidelines as to
Whatever
when
it
a
may
home
be.
can be torn down.
Let's say the home meets the classification that, is 30, 40, whatever. It
Yeah.
meets the
Yeah.
teardown classification.
Yeah.
Now, there's going to be a
Well,
land rush there.
So absolutely land rush, but we also need to keep in mind, when we start talking about 30-year rule and all that stuff, is that the cost replacement of this housing is increasing significantly as well.
Yes.
It's not cheap to build
It's not
brand
cheap
new
to
home
build.
or build a building, right? Even if you have an older home, let's call it 20 years. It's not probably worth it to tear that down because the cost to replace that asset might be significantly higher than your existing asset itself. So you might already get that additional equity and that land lift from that home without having to do anything, because now if you go look in the market and see what people are building homes for, $200 a square foot,
Yeah.
right? It's almost impossible to go ahead and have that equity left and have all these different things in place for you to be able to support that cost replacement
Gotcha,
of that
yeah.
home itself.
Makes sense, yeah. Now, like the investor mind,
Yeah.
like back to, I guess I'll solidify or rephrase my question more accurately. Let's say as somebody who did have the mind, or there's a lot of people sitting on land right now
Yeah.
that is, tear downable, or, they had an intention to build and
Yeah.
sell or whatnot. You would know better, but like, let's say they were going to build a giant house before this announcement to sell. Now they have the ability or potential ability to build, up to
Another
4
house.
units.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, does that investor still stick with the original plan, or does he entertain the 4 units to sell 4 units now?
I think it just comes down to the overall mindset and numbers again.
Yeah.
Right?
Will
we
those
come-
4 turn more a profit?
Yeah.
Exactly.
It'll be more of a headache because you are trying to sell 4 now,
Yeah.
opposed to 1.
So that's what it really
Right.
comes down to, and it comes
Yeah.
down to replacement costs. It comes down to the access to capital you have. It comes down to the financing we could achieve, right? So as we hear more about this upzoning, we'll hear more from lenders as well as to on the construction side
Sorry.
as how they will finance these assets that might get upzoned and we might have 4 units now, or it might not make a difference at all. We're talking about, if now, for example, we were to have a home that was 4,500 square feet, but because of the upzoning laws, we can upzone to, for example, 6,500 square feet, right? You're still paying the same per dollar square foot,
Square foot,
right?
yes.
So your cost will increase to add the additional square footage, but your total revenue from that property, whether it's to rent it out or to sell that property, might still be significantly more than your initial investment. And now, again, it comes down to my initial point is that land is scarce, right? Land costs are going to increase. So for guys that do already own a home or already own these lots, say they build on it, they go ahead and build those 4 units, and they go ahead and sell them.
Yeah.
What's available in the market then? Land is gonna be more expensive again, right? Because land is scarce. The demand is significantly there for that piece of land. So automatically those prices are gonna go up. On top of that, your per dollar square
Yes.
foot is going
That's
to be
going
still the
high
same
too.
as well. So now it just comes down to what we can achieve, right?
Inflation
And
2.0.
Inflation
Yes.
2.0, right? So we're
There's going to be a major land rush.
Yes.
I know it hasn't
Let's-
triggered
I
yet,
love
but it's
that.
filtering down. There's
Yeah.
going to be a land rush.
We all seeing
Guaranteed,
it.
the
just
land
like
rush
the
is
gold
coming.
rush, just
Yeah.
like the gold rush is
Gold
going to be a
rush.
land rush, right?
In
So I
British
love it.
Columbia, there is going to be a land rush. That is guaranteed with the latest announcement with single family homes getting up zoning to incorporate the middle housing section that's apparently missing in BC,
Yeah.
which it might be because you got a single family house and you got apartments, just 1-bedroom condos, 2-bedroom condos, and what family is really going to live in a 2-bedroom condo with underground garage and all that sort of stuff with young babies? Because this is the
gets
sad
hard.
story out there. There's a lot of families
Yes.
out there that can't afford homes or townhomes. The 2-bedroom condo is so popular, and just imagine as parents, living with a couple babies
Yes,
or kids in a
yes.
2-bedroom condo.
Yeah.
So the middle housing is a missing component. That is evident, guaranteed. If it happens and gets cleared out in November, I think it's awesome for young families that will finally get to be able to move out of the 2-bedroom condo and get into this little middle section.
And
What do you guys think?
Yeah, no,
And
and
it's just a very good point. And
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
majority of the time,
I've got so many families with kids into 2-bedroom condos, and sometimes I feel bad, but I'm like,
Yeah.
hey, they gotta get into the market.
get into the
More
market
somewhere, right?
And
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that if you being the mortgage broker, you've done quite a bit of transaction, and you see that a majority of the time we have the people now they're just getting into the condos and the townhouses for the need for the middle families and the housing for a 2-bedroom or
Yeah.
like
Absolutely.
hypothetically
It's
we
gone,
say-
And I
sadly,
mean,
like,
it's-
unless you bought a home in 2030.
Yeah.
yeah.
Now
Well,
the
it's-
land is about to get worse. You
Yeah.
can't buy land anymore.
It's made to
Yeah, but-
essentially address that housing crisis regardless, right? Like we have a significant shortfall and like not enough supply
Yeah.
for the incoming population, right? And for our existing population itself, we're running short of homes,
Yeah.
right? So that's the issue that we're trying to address here. But outside, like from within that, there will be other issues that get created. But what those issues will be, like we'll figure it out when the time comes, right?
Look at the food
Yeah.
inflation, my friend. Look at a double digit. It's
Yeah.
over 10%.
Yeah.
So, but we are still talking about a housing. So we need everything. We
Yeah.
just don't
Yeah.
need just the housing. We need the food as well for the people that were coming to the country. We need more jobs.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just in Canada alone, I mean, the government is predicting 500,000 immigrants every year for
Every
the next
year.
5 to 6 years.
That is
Right.
incredible,
It
astonishing
is.
numbers. Like real inflation, people are consumers here that non-immigrants coming
Immigrants.
in. They're going to come here and spend. They're going to earn. They're going to spend. They're going to budget. They're disciplinary. They're coming here to make a life. So that money's going to come into the market because it's just going to happen. So inflation is not
And
really.
speaking
real.
of the foreign buyers, they already changed the policy in the last week of March. So now whoever's are on the work permit, they can actually buy the property in
But
Canada.
thank
Yeah,
God they
and
did because, let's face it,
Yeah.
it's not locals that are buying the $2-3 million houses.
No.
Yeah, and to be
We
quite
need
honest,
Yeah.
quite honest, like I was at a conference last week as well, right? The
Yeah, I
Vancouver
saw
Real
your
Estate,
picture.
the Vancouver Real Estate
Oh,
Forum and the Western Canada Apartment Investment Conference as well.
Yeah.
So there are two different conferences.
Correct.
And-
Congratulations on your
Oh,
nomination.
thank you, thank
That's
you.
incredible achievement. That's
Thank you.
incredible.
No, I appreciate that. But we really chatted about how how inflation, might be the 3% might be the new 2%, and that's not as a result of, inflation is where it sits today or the pandemic or anything like that. It's just as a result of where the global economy is going. There's a lot of things happening
Yeah.
in the global economy altogether.
Yeah.
We are at record low unemployment rates in Canada, right? We have an influx of immigration coming in, and there's jobs available for these folks. We do have a massive housing shortage as well, and we're trying to fulfill that housing shortage, right? So we
Urgently as well.
Urgently.
This is a massive provincial, call it mandate, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
you
So absolutely, with inflation, the 3% might be the new 2%, right? 2% has been the standard for a long time, but where the economy is going is overall, it might be 3%.
That's
You
a
never
really
know.
intelligent intuition. That's
Yeah.
why you are the economist of the Money Storm
Right,
Show.
yeah, the money.
It makes
numbers.
total sense, but a new benchmark, 3%, absolutely. Canada's a baby country. 2% was in the old world.
Old world.
Yeah.
And
We all agree on it.
yeah, that's very intelligent stuff. And I agree.
And I mean,
think 3% is.
And I think, regardless, people really will start looking at inflation, be like, oh, inflation's so high, all that stuff.
Mhm.
But if you take a look at the real numbers you look at the wages.
Yeah.
Wages went up by, I think, 7% or something, or was it 12.5%? But the new wages are going up to, I think it's, right now we're at 1565.
Yeah.
So new wages are going to be 1676 or something at minimum wage, right? So everything is getting adjusted and we're all moving in the right direction. But it's a slow process. People forget that, right?
Yeah.
They want everyone wants gold today, but you can't hit gold today. It takes time to be able to develop that and work on it, right?
Absolutely. I
And-
think Canada's shifting, and let's call it Canada has growing pains right now. We're a baby country. Canada is a
And
baby
who
country.
knows what that 4.5 is the new rate and the lower rate for us.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they probably won't go down, and especially with the economy.
We don't know, right?
We
At
need
the
to
end of the
get
day,
used to it, guys.
the 4% rates might be
Yeah.
here to stay,
Stay
right?
here.
And at the end of the day, 4% is extremely cheap money
It
if we
is.
compare on a global scale. We've talked about this multiple times over and over, right?
4% is gonna be real market money.
Real market money.
It's here to stay.
Yeah.
And I think that's gonna be the new norm.
New
The
normal.
new normal for sure.
Absolutely.
You heard Larry, so new normal is a 4%, guys. So if you guys need help, shout out to Larry and give a call to Chan about all the numbers, guys.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Thanks.
We're gonna shift back over to Ardee with the topic that's not coming to me right now, but
Is it Derek?
the niche clients, right?
Niche
so
clients, yeah.
Ardee, you have a niche client and people that you want to work with. So why don't you talk to your audience and us and our audience?
And to you
on-
guys and for the audience
And,
too. And if you guys are looking to build up your portfolio about your real estate, so come to me. I'm the number guys. Why I say the number guys? Because it comes from my background. I was really good at math, and always the fantasy comes to me with the numbers. And when I break it down, and it makes more sense for anybody. So let's say you have the equity built up, and but you're not using it. But at the same time, you want to do the cash flow, but you're not breaking down your numbers. So I come handy there, and I really want to focus those people that who really want to use their money for something for their future.
They want their money to grow, right?
Yes.
Work for themselves.
And who
Yeah.
doesn't? And
Right.
I mean, literally, I want to wake up and I'd see that, okay, my money is growing, and this is all, and I want to teach it to people at the same time, because I'm applying myself. If I don't have the money, but I have the knowledge, then why don't I can work together and help you out? It's a win-win situation.
That's fantastic. Like, when you're buying real estate,
Yeah,
you're
you're-
investors.
yes.
Chet and I are real estate investors. And when you're buying real estate, there are folks out there that have money that know that real estate is a safe investment, or for the most part, right?
Yeah.
It has its dangers, of course, we know that, but for the most part, it's a good long-term
It's a
investment.
good long-term,
and
and-
everybody wants to get into it, but they have the income and they want to get in, but they don't have the number crunching, and you can't pay for that service. It's either the realtor is going to be a numbers guy,
Yeah.
or a first-time home buyer.
First-time home buyers.
And you work with numbers and you teach people if it's a good investment or not.
And I tell people, don't listen to your friends at the barbecue party. Just come to the professional.
Come to the professionals.
And it's a free
Yeah.
of cost, guys. You don't have to sign anything. All you have to just look at the numbers.
And listen, just listen, right?
Yeah,
Be
just
present
listen,
and
guys.
understand, right? And that's the most important thing. Ardee, I want to get back to a key point.
Yeah.
Earlier you said you love dirt.
I
So
do.
Tell us the backstory of that dirt and what you meant by that.
There, I come from Punjab,
Yeah.
where we all dream about the land, and we grew up into the land, and we have the mentality and upbringing. We always focus on the gold or the land, because my grandpa used to be the bus driver back home, and every time he brings the money, my grandma would take the money from him and buy gold.
Right.
And I asked her, I'm like, why do you buy the gold when you have the money? She goes like, I don't trust the paper, but at least I have the gold. I can trade in with the
You know
people.
what?
Your grandma was ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
She was
Ahead
almost
of
there.
inflation.
So I
She was
learned
ahead of
it from-
inflation.
Almost there. Paper is almost about to disappear.
Yeah, so the dirt, why do I, like, what I mean by land is the king.
Yeah.
So when you have the king, you don't need to worry about anything else. So get into the land, guys, and see that what can you zone, and the people love about it, especially all the people that who wants to get into the dirt. What I mean by that, we have so much land that we are not using it.
Yeah.
Like you will see the people that they're old enough, they need to make the move, but at the same time we need the housing.
Yeah. You want to help people, from my understanding, you want to help people supply housing.
And how
That's
it
your
and
main
how,
thing.
yes, and how it works. You need to find those people that who can jump on to supply to the people. So
Right.
let's say
So
if
you want to help the builders of the world, you want to help the
builders
developers of the world
Yes.
to be able to pick up a piece of land,
Yes.
pick up a parcel of land, build out some
Yes.
units, build out a house, build out apartments, whatever it may be, and get the final product to market so you can finally help also the end consumer itself.
Yes. So I want you to make money if you have the money. So
Yeah.
if you get onto something which you cannot just make the money just sitting on it.
Yeah.
But imagine you bought something in raw land, and you can actually build where you can actually get the money out of it.
That's great. Yeah.
It's crazy that now, look at a Wally
Yeah.
in Surrey.
Yeah.
That's a perfect example for people who wouldn't even ask about moving into Wally. Now
10 years
every
ago,
investor,
no.
every investor, they wanted to go into the Wally.
Yep.
I get the calls from all my guys. Hey, I want the raw land so I can build up apartments.
Mm-hmm.
And it starts from the beginning, so step by step. Because you can actually make the money buying a raw land, but also can make the money when you're into the process with a few applications. Let's say you don't have the money.
Yeah.
Other guys want to jump onto the project and you make the money at the same time. And I come handy so I can do the 2 transactions, 3 transactions at the same product.
Absolutely.
That's fantastic.
Yes.
Ardee, that message about land and the
Learn about the lands, because
it's awesome. I mean,
it's
we've
awesome.
got look Punjab and our
Yes.
background and our culture and immigrants coming from every country out there, of course.
Yes.
But we're I don't know what the numbers are, but there's probably a lot coming from Punjab and
Punjab,
India.
everyone,
right?
people dream about it.
Yeah.
And back home, we have this.
If you want, let's give a shout out to some of our Punjab clients. If you
Mhm.
want, you can give them a message in Punjabi why they should invest with you. I think it'd be great for the audience, and then we can maybe.
I
talk about
come
that.
from a Punjab, and literally why I said that because I have the love for the land.
You can speak
Me-
Punjabi, bro, to the audience
Yeah.
if you
Speak
like.
Punjabi. Yeah.
ਸੋ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਵੀ ਜੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਦਾ ਵੀ that ਤੁਸੀਂ ਪੰਜਾਬ ਦੇ ਵਾਂਗੂ ਆਪਣੀ ਹਰ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਧਿਆਨ ਰਹਿੰਦਾ ਸੀ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਲੈਂਡ ਲੈਣੀ ਆ so why don't we just buy the land here so when we can ਹੁਣ ਆਪਾਂ ਇੱਥੇ ਆ ਗਏ ਹਾਂ, ਇੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਰਹਿਣਾ but then you're thinking about it going back home which is true that's a home but why don't we use the money that bring it here and make the same thing here.
Absolutely.
man.
Great message. Before the land rush, get
Yes,
in
before
there.
the land gold rush it's
There we
busy.
go. So, guys,
Yeah.
Ardee, thank you very much for your time here.
Thank
You
you.
know, that's
Absolutely.
going to
Thank you
wrap
for joining
things
us.
up. Great real estate discussion. Thank you
Many
for.
more coming if you invite me.
Absolutely.
You'll be a welcome guest
Absolutely.
every single time.
You
Yeah.
fit our mindset here, guys. So let's give some closing comments, guys. Please remember everything discussed during these episodes not financial advice, just information to educate the consumer, drawn from our personal and business experiences. If you have any specific questions about your financial situation, please contact Brightcap Financial or City Center Mortgages. The info can be found in the description below. Thank you again for tuning in, and we will see you next week. Thanks again,
Absolutely.
Ardee.
Thanks.
Thank you,
Like,
guys.
review, subscribe, guys. Thank you for joining us once again. Have a great day.
Take care.
Good job.